Somebody's howling is drowning my icebox. Somebody's cold water is giving me chill. Guess I'll just close my eyes. Sing a song. Your love is a heartbreaker. Sing a song. My heart is a life taker. Dear Father, I write you in spite of years of silence. You cleaned up, found Jesus. Things are good, oh so I hear. This bottle of Stevens awakens ancient feelings. Like Father, step by the sun is drowning in the flood. Oh, oh yeah, oh yeah. Da, 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 All right, there we go. Say It Ain't So is today's lesson. This is an awesome Weezer song. Wanted to do it for a long time. Finally learned it last couple weeks, and here's the lesson. This is a great song, I'd say for this reason. For pretty much the entire song, you're going to be using these 4 chords in this order. You have hammer-ons in this song, you have slides in this song, you have power chords, you have bar chords, you have muted strumming. You put all those together and you kind of come away with something really cool. So before we get started, a couple things to know. One, I'm doing this in standard tuning. I'm not tuning down a half step. Weezer tunes this song down a half step on the album version. I'm not interested in doing that. If you want to do it, just use what I teach you. Tune your guitar down, play it, and you can play along with Weezer. 2, there's a few certain parts where the tabs I use might be a little bit different from what Weezer does according to this live performance, whatever. I'm not terribly concerned with recreating what they do. I'm concerned with putting this song together in a way you can learn it for an acoustic guitar, okay? And then the final point is check out my website, songnotes.cc. All the tabs, all the notes, all the chords I show you in this video, you can find there in text form. So it's a handy place to reference all this stuff outside of this video. Remember, practice makes perfect, and having these notes can definitely help make your practicing easier. So all that stuff being said, let's dive into the song now. Okay, so the 4 chords you're going to need are as follows. You have a C sharp minor, you have a G sharp major, you have an A major, and you have an E, okay? I'll show you how to play these real quick. But basically, you need to know bar chords for this song. This is not a really super beginner-friendly song just to get right around it. You need to know bar chords, and because you're using bar chords throughout the song, it's really going to be taxing on your hand muscles, so it's not really a song you can kind of fake your way through the 1 F chord, right? This is bar chords throughout, so you really want to have those down, right? But basically, C sharp minor is, you're going to be barring the 4th fret, okay? So that's the top 4 strings, top 5 strings of the 4th string. Barring those with your finger, your index finger, and you're going to be going 4, 6, 6, 5, 4. Now note, if you were to pull up your pinky finger, you would have a C sharp minor 7. And for the hammer-on part of this song, that's pretty much the shape you're going to be in. So just recognize that this C sharp minor 7 shape is really just 1 note different from the C sharp minor shape. Okay? Now, next you have your G sharp major. You're basically going to be doing what you probably know as an F shape, but you're going to slide that up so that you're barring the 4th fret. And this is interesting when you look at this chord relative to the C sharp minor, because you're barring the same fret, right? So basically, you're just going to move all your fingers towards the sky 1 string. So you have 4, 6, 6, 5, 4, 4. next chord is an A major, but you're gonna be barring it, so you're just taking this whole shape and sliding it up 1 fret, okay? 5, 7, 7, 6, 5, 5. And then you have an E, an open E. And you exhale when you play it because your fingers are like, they get a break from barring finally, right? So those are the 4 chords you're gonna need, okay? So together it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And it's gonna be the core of your timing throughout the song. I'll touch on strumming pattern in a little bit, but just that's where you want to get, that's the sort of foundation of everything, is those 4 chords, okay? Let's first start with the riff, the distinctive riff you hear in the introduction of the song, and you hear it throughout the song as well, and you hear it at the very end. So it's this is, if anything else, if nothing else, this is the one part of the song you really want to learn. It uses those 4 chords I just sent you. There's a few little tricks though you want to do here, okay? First up, for that C sharp minor. Instead of playing a straight up C sharp minor, you're going to approach it like this. You're going to play, you're just going to bar that 4th fret, and then you're going to hammer on your ring and your middle finger so that you're playing the C sharp minor 7. Okay? So, and then you're going to transition that to the G sharp major. So, again. So what I'm doing there is hammering on, then I'm doing timing is kind of hard to communicate with words, you just kind of got to feel it, but basically. Get this timing down first, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And when you have that, add in the hammer on. All right? Hammer-oning too is one of those things you gotta have the muscles for it, but you gotta just practice it, right? Next up, I'm gonna look at this G sharp major, and I'm gonna talk about this, that whole thing right here. So what you're doing here is, instead of a G sharp major, which you should know, right? You're going to basically not bar it. You're just gonna go 4th, 6th, 6th, 5th, and then leave the highest 2 strings open. So if you were to play it all together, it would sound kind of dissonant and not really good, right? But the whole idea here is you're going to basically just pick the lowest 5 strings. So it's really this 5th string, this B string. That's what gives this part the sort of distinctive sound, right? So putting it together would be this. Okay? And after that, you're basically going to play the lowest 4 strings of the G sharp minor, G sharp major. So. And this is a slide, so basically you're going to want to let these sound and then slide your hand up into the A major bar chord position, okay? So again, the whole thing is again, practice it. You want to have that timing down. I encourage you to get the timing of these 4 chords down before you worry about the hammering on and the sliding, because it's really gonna make it tough if you're trying to learn the timing last, because the timing is just tricky, right? So basically, you're going to do those things. So again, it's next thing I'm going to show you is this sort of. Okay, this is an optional thing. You could not play this at all and you could still pull this song off and sound pretty good, right? But what you're doing up here is you want to take your index finger and you want to bar the middle 4 strings of the 9th fret, okay? That's what it would sound like if you just played those middle 4 strings. But basically what you want to do is let that bottom E string ring. Again, open. And what you're doing there is you're playing the open E string at the very bottom, and then you're hammering on from 9th to 11th. on the 5th string. And after you hammer that on, you're going to play the 999 of the middle, upper middle 3 strings. So. And after you play those, so putting that together, here's what it's going to sound like. You're going to be coming from the E chord. And then you're going to transition that back to the C sharp minor, okay? So first, high level, before you worry about practicing the notes too much, understand the fact that you're going from E to barring this to C sharp minor, okay? It's kind of a jump. It's kind of it's a little bit of an odyssey for your hands here, okay? And this is probably the hardest part I've found with this song as far as getting that polish down, because you really want it to be seamless. So. So again, you don't need to do that, but it's nice to have down, okay? So that's the whole intro section, really, right there. That's all you need. So next up is this sort of reggae-ish, offbeat, sort of upstrum thing you'll have in the verse of the song. Now, if you're playing this by yourself, you might not be playing this ever, but it's good to know. This is what the second guitar he plays in the album, right? So this is what it sounds like. Main thing you need to know here is you're going to be focusing on the highest 4 strings always, okay? You're going to be going from the same C sharp minor to the same G sharp major. Then you're going to go to the A, but instead of doing an open E, what you're going to do is 6, 4, 5, 4. Now technically, these are the notes in an E major scale, an E major chord. The full chord would be. You're not going to be playing that because this whole section, again, it focuses on the upper 3 or 4 strings. But basically, and you can play that. If you have a friend over and you're playing the guitar, right? You can play this part and they can do the. It'll sound great together. It'll sound perfect because what you're doing is you're always playing notes from the same chords with each other at the same time, right? So just the total sync there. But next up, let's look at strumming the verse without the hammer on, without the sliding, without all that stuff, right? Basically, again, same 4 chords. But basically, what I'm doing here is I'm doing a muted strum. There's the strumming pattern you can use for that. If you can't do the sort of choppy muted strum, it's okay. You can do it without it. You can do it with like this. And putting it all together with the words, again, would be like this. Somebody's cold one is drowning. Somebody's hiding, he's messing up the world. Guess I'll just close my eyes. Sorry, I can't remember the lyrics perfectly all the time, but hopefully you get the idea. Yeah, so this is a great way. There's a YouTube video that, I forget the gentleman's name, but it's a really cool video. Check it out because he uses this strum or something very similar to it. And seeing this really inspired me to sort of learn this song, an acoustic version. But it can let you sort of add diversity to your performance of this song, and it lets you sort of sing without having to worry about your hammer-ons and your slides and all that stuff, right? But next up, let's get to the chorus. So chorus, same chords, right? Same shapes, really. Same shapes as that strum I just showed you. The one difference here is you're going to want to emphasize, instead of that, reggae section where we're emphasizing the top notes, here you're going to be emphasizing the bottom notes, okay? So these are this is verging toward the realm of power chords here. Power chords are typically where you're playing the bottom 3 strings. I'm going to get to power chords later when I talk about the bridge, but the idea here is you're going to want to play the bottom 3 or 4 strings of each chord. Riff up there if you want to, right? The one thing that's cool about this chorus is that if you listen to the album version of this song, you hear that, right? That electric guitar thing that sounds better than that note, but you can kind of emulate that here by leaving, if you play these chords, these 4th fret bar chords, and you don't bar it, you leave the 1st string open here, the 2nd and 1st string open here. You can go like this. And that does sound a little bit kind of dissonant and a little bit messy, but I think that's kind of the idea, is what you're doing here is you're emulating the you're emulating the electric guitar that you hear in the album, right? It's kind of meant to be a little bit messy. And again, check out this cover version to hear a great version of this, a great approach to this in context. And totally props to this guy, because that's where I got this sort of idea from. But that's how you play that, right? And the last thing I think is looking at the bridge of this song. Now the bridge of this song is all power chords. When I say power chords here, I'm talking about this shape where you're going, basically you're only ever playing 3 strings, and it's a 3 sort of bassiest strings, right? Now here's how I play this. This is a little bit different fret-wise from what Weezer does, but it's the same notes, so it's going to sound the same, right? So here's how I'll do it. I'm going to play it through once and I'll break down what I'm doing. So, dear Daddy, I write you in spite of years of silence. You cleaned up around Jesus, things are good, oh so I hear. And it repeats, okay? Same thing, just repeats. Now, what I'm doing here is 7-9-9, then I'm doing 6-9-8. You could also do 6-9-9. It's really the same notes, but this is the way to practice this transition, right? It's not easy no matter what. So 7-9-9, 6-9-8. Then I'm going down here to open second, and then 3-5-5. Okay, this is the G. So now, I will say, if you look at Weezer or you look at other people playing this song, what sometimes you find is they're staying down here all the time. How they do that is by they're saying on starting on the 5th string, so 5th, so 2nd, 4th, 4th. Then 1 4th, 4th, right? To me, it's harder to do, man. Like, it's just a longer stretch. The frets are actually a bit longer down here than they are up here, so it's just like a little bit longer, and I find it, I don't know. I don't like playing it this way, because really what you're doing is if you're going 2nd, 4th, 4th up here, it's the same exact notes as going 7-9 up here. That's the same exact notes as going. So it's a bit of a pragmatic thing. Do what works for you. Do what's, what do you want to learn? Do you want to work on doing your stuff down here? If you do, then definitely take that version. But if you're kind of trying to get by just on a bit more what's easier to do muscle-wise, I don't do power chords and bar chords a ton when I play guitar typically, so I kind of want to get by with the easiest easiest way to do it. But basically, you're just going to put all those together, and you get the chorus, and that comes back out into the. And you just do that with the solo going over it, and that's pretty much all there is to it. Yeah, again, I hope you enjoyed learning this song. Thanks for watching this far. I had fun learning this song, and again, it's one progression, and you're just sort of folding that progression in a few different ways and showing different sides of it. But really, again, it's a great example of how songwriting can take something that is fundamentally very simple as far as just 4 chords, and just how you approach them, the strumming pattern, what strings you're emphasizing, bassiness versus trebleness, slide-ons, hammer-ons, all that stuff. You can really make a cool sounding song. So check out the website for the tabs. Anything you need to reference later, it'll all be there. If you like this lesson, definitely throw $1 or $2 in the tip jar. Took me a long time to learn this song. Took me a while to set up this recording. It takes me a while to edit it. You know, if you throw a few bones my way, it definitely lets me know you're out there, and it helps me make more lessons like this more often. So any comments you have, questions, hit up the comments. I'm happy to answer those. But otherwise, signing off, this is David Potts with Songnotes. Hope this helped. Keep on rocking, and take care. Bye-bye.